Hello and welcome back to the survival project. In the last episode we got a load of progress done and I'm really happy with everything I managed to achieve in that first episode. So as a reminder of what we've done, we've built up a little cliff facing along this edge here, and we're going to be continuing it round over this direction, and we're also going to be building it up along that side eventually as well. We built up this really cool house. I'm really happy with the way that this looks. I want to make some changes. Mainly to the roofing blocks. I don't want to be using the stone roofing for that, so we're going to find something to change that out with. And I kind of want to change some of the roofing design as well. We found our little dog over here, and I'm still looking for a name at time of recording this scene here, but hopefully by the end of the episode I'll have something that I can name the dog, and that'll be cool as well. And yeah, we've just got some basic animal pens set up over there. That's not going to be a permanent thing. We're going to move them about and make something a bit more permanent, but that's going to come in the future. We've got our little turtle friends down here. They're just chilling, waiting for their home to be built. But for today's episode, what I wanted to do was go on a bit of an adventure, and I want to go and find at least 2 villages. So the reason I want 2 villagers is so that I can bring them back here and start breeding them. I'm just cooking up some fish, so I've got some food for the journey. You might also notice I've managed to get 15 diamonds. That was just from doing a bit of strip mining. I should have saved them really until I had fortune, but you can't help yourself. You see diamonds, you need them. So we are going to build up a diamond pickaxe. And this is actually the second diamond pickaxe I've made in this world. And I think I definitely want to get a sword as well. And otherwise I'm just going to sort of start going for armour. I think defending ourselves is quite important, and we've still got some left. So I might as well make a diamond shovel out of it, and we can just save this other one. Oh, actually no. Let's save both of them, because it's all I've got at the moment, and I'm going to want to make an enchantment table when I come back. So yeah, I've already got a little boat built up. I'm going to jump in that and we're going to go have a little sail around until we can find a village somewhere. Hopefully we can get a coastline village, that would be quite handy, but I'm just going to aim towards some form of landmass and see if there's anything going on there. So yeah, I'll catch you guys when I get a little bit closer to finding a village. Okay, so we've done it. We've found a village. I got really lucky actually, and it was along the coastline, so that worked out in my favour pretty well. Didn't really take too long. I had to travel quite far away from the island. I think now, yeah, I'm about 3,000 blocks out when you add the 2 coordinates together, but this is great. We have some villagers and we have an iron golem, and that is all great. And we want one of these, definitely. I'm going to steal the books as well, because that's going to save me a job later down the line. I'm basically just going to be raiding this village, and then we're going to start ferrying a couple of villagers back. Gonna tame this cat. We're gonna tame this cat. Come on. I got some fish. Come on. No, don't run. Don't run. I don't want to leave here without him. Let's try and catch some raw fish real quick, see if that makes a difference. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I was fishing for some raw fish for that cat, and I managed to get myself an efficiency 4 and flame book. More interested in the efficiency than the flame, but there you go. I'm really quite chuffed with that. Hey, we got him! That took far longer than I think it needed to. He's coming. He wants the fish. He didn't like the fish. Yeah, there we go. Got 2 cats now. That's great. So I've got my 2 villagers over here now, which is all cool. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet. What I'm wondering is where have my cats gone? Just on my way back to the village now, and I've just noticed over here we got a little sunken ship, so I'm going to take a look in there and see what I find. That's number 1. Lapis. Oh, I don't really have a bottle of enchanting. That'll be handy. I don't have any space in my inventory. I want the emeralds. Need to go and breathe. Oh, awesome. The coral's actually grown inside the ship here. I've never seen that before, and that's really cool. Paper, gunpowder. I just threw gunpowder away. And we're drowning. In the doorway. And there's one more chest there. There's a clock. Buried treasure map. That's what we wanted. Okay, found the cats. They were back at the village. Time to get them back home. Okay, so everyone is back home now, thank God. It took forever to get these cats back. Originally I started very slowly swimming along with them until I realised that it was just far quicker for me to just make 2 trips, pop them in a boat, sail them over and sail them back. So we could do with getting 2 more names now for these 2 cats. If you've got anything interesting or anything that you would like the names to be, just drop it down in the comments section. And again, just like with our little dog over here, I'll choose my favourite one and yeah, we'll get them renamed as soon as we have some name tags. That's something I don't really have at the moment. And at the end of this episode, I will reveal what name I've chosen for our little dog over here. So I think our next job is to build up a village breeder. I want to keep it out of the spawn area, which is just over here, because I want to pop the iron farm here. And that's just because it means that the iron farm will continue running whenever I'm on the world. And I won't have to really worry about having to AFK around the iron farm to gather it. So what I'm thinking is probably it's going to be over on the other side of this hill. I'm not sure if villager breeders affect iron farms in the same way, but I'm sure they will. At least it'll affect the location the iron golem are spawning. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of research real quick to find out a bit more information about iron farms now. I'm still very used to the old way of doing iron farms, so yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll get the villager breeder built up first anyway, and yeah, I'll catch you guys once that is complete. So this is just a quick time lapse of me working on the village breeder. It's designed by Impulse SV, who's another member of the Hermitcraft server, so I'll drop a link to that down in the description. It's really, really simple. Compared to the way some of these things used to be, I'm really surprised at how easy all of this works. The good thing about this design as well is that it actually gives us carrots as a byproduct, or you could use potatoes as well, you don't have to use carrots. But it's actually really handy because it means I'm going to have a decent food source later down the line, after I've built up a gold farm at least anyway. Golden carrots are basically the best food in the game, in my opinion. It's pretty much all I'll use after I get a gold farm. So yeah, it's really handy that we're just going to have that sort of passive food income coming from it. So here I'm just kind of building up the bases of the farm. Eventually I'm going to have to come in and actually build a building up around this, which I will get round to, because I don't want to just leave random farms floating around. Normally I'd do all of this sort of stuff underground, but I thought this would help me come up with a purpose for my buildings. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this little bit of a time lapse, and I will catch you in the next clip. Okay, so I've been AFK overnight just to let some villagers build up. We've got all the carrots in place now, so this farmer's been going away at it pretty well. Okay. One of our villagers is dead, and the other one's turned into a zombie. That's not promising. Let's come down here and see if we've got any babies. Oh, we got grown-ups. Got anything in here? Yeah, we got some carrots. Okay, no, this is good. Okay, so I can just replace that villager if I need to. Yeah, so I've dug a tunnel all the way along here towards where I want the iron farm to be, so that's set up as well, and thankfully we have got some villagers, so that AFK session wasn't in vain. We're just going to have to get this guy replaced. Before I bother with that though, I think I'm going to want to start building up the actual iron farm now. So yet another really easy farm to build here. This iron farm is unbelievably simple compared to any of the old farms. I hadn't looked into it at all because I've not played survival in 1.14 properly yet. So yeah, looking into it, I was expecting to have something really big to build, but this is literally it. Nice, simple, easy. So much simpler than the old days. And from what I understand, there's a good output as well. Okay, so we've got the iron farm all built up now. I've added in some water streams and dug a hole right down. I'm gonna build a lava pit down the bottom and a little collection system that's eventually gonna send items up here. But I need to get hold of a name tag because I need to put a zombie inside this cauldron here. And if I don't name tag it, it's just gonna despawn. So what I'm gonna do is take that buried treasure map we found in the ship and I'm gonna go hunt that out and hopefully I'll find one in there. I'd assume that it's sort of directly under here. But it probably won't be, knowing my luck. I finally managed to find it and then this guy's decided to attack me. Oh, and now I'm drowning. Let's get out of the water. Right, back down we go and we're going to find out. Please, Mr. Dolphin, stay out of the way. No name tag. Okay, we've got some diamonds though. That's cool. Heart of the sea, some TNT, a little bit of gold, and some fish. Okay, cool. Well, it wasn't a complete waste of a journey. We managed to get a heart of the sea. I might just have to do a bit of fishing and hope for the best. See if I get some. So I'm just gonna head back to base and probably start fishing for a while. Nice, I wasn't even really fishing for that long, managed to get myself a name tag. Okay, I've made a few changes here to the iron golem farm. See one there just falling down into the pit, so it is all working. Some of the golems are spawning along the outside here, but eventually once I get a building set up, that should stop. We've got our zombie over here and we've name tagged him. He's called Colin, we can't see his name tag at the moment, but it's all done. Getting these villagers into these breeding cells was... Oh, these aren't even breeding cells. But yeah, getting these villagers into their cells was a lot of hard work. They just didn't want to play ball, but we got there in the end. I've added these walls in just as a way to sort of stop the iron golems if and when they do eventually spawn up on the platform. It will stop them from falling off and coming over to here. But it seems like they just track towards the zombie straight away anyway, so that seems fine. Everything's working great, and yeah, it's all starting to look pretty good now. Just need to actually put a building up around the outside of this, which is something I'll probably look towards doing in the next episode or so. Because I also need to put a building up around the village breeder as well. So all of the items down there go into a little hopper chain that at the moment are just going into a chest. So if I just swim down here, can I come down here please? Yeah, if I just swim down here I can show you that real quick. So yeah, they die in the little lava pool there. All of these hoppers collect the items and I collect iron, which is great. I've already got 32 bits of iron from it. And yeah, eventually I'll destroy this kelp and I'll put a little dropper clock in here so I can ferry the items up to the top. And can I come through here please? Yeah, I'll ferry all the items up here and they'll just wind up in a chest here. So I've got a basis for how I'm going to be building this house because the farm's given me a generic shape for it. So I'm really glad I decided to do it this way round rather than build the house and then try and chuck a farm around it. Yeah, see, this is going to be a problem. Iron golem's getting stuck there. So, yeah, I need to do some work around that. Oh, they're getting stuck on that edge as well. I think that's because he's trying to walk. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more work to this just to kind of get it spot on. But, yeah, I'm really happy that we've managed to get it all sorted. We've got a decent village breeder going. I replaced the zombie villager over there with a regular villager and gave him a friend as well. So now that breeder should be working again perfectly fine. So we need to get some names for these cats right here that we found earlier today. And if you've got any suggestions, just pop it in the comment section and I will just pick my favourite out of them. Or if the same name crops up a couple of times, then I'll go for that. Now our dog in the last episode managed to get a name. And it was a choice of 3 from one commenter, and I'm gonna go with Dog because I was really tempted to just call him Dog in the first place anyway, and I think it is the perfect name for a dog. So meet Dog. As soon as I get a name tag, I'll get him actually named up. So I had a question in the last video as well, which was about how I come up with my house designs. And really, a large part of that is just Google searching and using Pinterest and any other sort of thing like that that you can to sort of research the style that you're going for. So you need to pick a style basically. So I've gone with Oriental Japanese here. I went into Google, I went into Pinterest, and I found some Oriental style builds that I quite like the look of, and I've kind of merged two together here. So there was the original structure, which is this original block here, is the first part I built up, and then there was this slightly smaller, longer building that I found that I really wanted to use. The sliding doors fit perfectly with the theme, and the roofing style is really what makes up the difference between this build and another style. So it starts off with a really high point and it comes down fairly steeply until eventually it smoothens out. And I think the easiest way to design a house is to just sort of research the style you want. Like a medieval style house, typically speaking, if it's within a city, it's going to be very tall and very thin because they'd cram loads of different housing sections in together, trying to get as many people into the city as they possibly can in as small a space. But if it's like a smaller little village on the outside, most of those homes would have been hand built, so it would have been a lot more wood and no sort of stone roofs or anything like that. So yeah, basically I just kind of think like that. Medieval stuff I find quite easy to just completely wing it these days. And yeah, so building in this Oriental style is going to require me doing a lot more sort of research before I just go ahead and build things. Just to make sure I sort of stick true to the style and that it does wind up coming out looking pretty good. As far as how I actually use the house, it comes down to what I'm doing. In the creative world, I don't really need to think about survival aspects, but in this instance, as I was building it, I had to think I need a storage area. It doesn't need to be huge because this is just my sort of starter house, but I need enough sort of chest space to get as much as I can in here while I'm using it. And I like to separate the kitchen area just to keep it feeling like an actual house as well. So I've got a separated kitchen area here, and then there would be a sort of living room here, but I don't see much use of turning this into a living room. So this may very well wind up being my enchanting area, which could be quite handy. It's still something I need to set up. That was my original intention for this episode, didn't wind up happening. And I like to keep my bedrooms upstairs as well. So, you know, at the moment I've popped it in here, which is pretty much the furthest point of the house unless we were to go up the ladder. But essentially most of this space will probably just wind up either never being used or it will just wind up being extra chests, more storage space and that sort of stuff. So my biggest tip for any house building is to just research the style you're going for, look into it, find a style that you really like, and then don't copy it, but take inspiration from it. Because if you copy it in a sort of block for block fashion in Minecraft, you're either going to wind up with something that's way too big, or you're going to wind up with something that's just not really very good. You know, you sacrifice detail for the blockiness of Minecraft, whereas if you take inspiration from it and use the blockiness of Minecraft to your advantage, then you can wind up with some pretty good builds. With all of that though, I'm going to end the episode off here. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope we can get some decent names for these two cats. They were a real pain to get hold of, but it's going to be worth it because they're going to keep these creepers over here away from me, so that is great. One of them's just going to permanently live by the front door. Yeah, if you've got any suggestions, drop in the comment section. We have our dog here called Dog, who is probably just going to stay in the house. I don't really bring them around with me because I get a bit lost with them. Or they wind up disappearing completely and that's no good. Yeah, next episode we're going to be working definitely on enchantments because I need to get efficiency 5 and some mending because this is no good. And potentially we will start building up the buildings around the iron farm, at least the iron farm and maybe the village breeder as well. I also want to clear out a whole bunch more of these trees, so I might do that in between episodes or I might even time lapse it within the episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one.